Hello, and welcome to St. Vincent's Video Ministry. Thank you for being a part of this ministry. Your yes enables us to bring the virtual sacrifice of the Mass to the homes of St. Vincent's parishioners during this difficult time. This instructional video will teach you everything you need to know about streaming the Mass at St. Vincent's. Before the Mass begins, some preparation is required to make sure that you and the equipment are ready to stream. First, you will need to retrieve the iPad and the tripod from the rectory dining room. Climb the stairs to the first level and go through the door on the left of the bureau. Next to the windowsill on a chair is the iPad and the tripod. Remember, you do not need to bring the charger down to the church, just the iPad and the tripod. Now you have to unlock the iPad. The code for the iPad is 191440. That's the zip code of the church with an extra zero. Now you want to ensure that the iPad is connected to the right Wi-Fi account. Go into the settings and look to make sure that it is connected to the FiOS 9SHDQ network. Here at St. Vincent's, we use Facebook to live stream the Mass. Click the Facebook app and then use the Vincent profile to sign in. The password is all are welcome 1815. The ALL in all are all capital letters. The rest of the letters are lowercase. In order to live stream the Mass, we need to go on to the St. Vincent Catholic Community page. Scroll down, choose the Publish option, and we're going to use the live video option to live stream our Mass. When the live stream comes up, we have to tap to add a description for our live stream video. We use the same format every week. The date, in this case, it was July 19th, followed by a comma, and then you would write out the time of the liturgical year. This Sunday was the 16th Sunday in Ordinary Time. However, if it is Christmas, you would put Christmas. If it was Easter, you'd put Easter or any other holiday that it may be. You add a comma after the time of the liturgical year, and you add the word Mass. Adding the word Mass allows it to be picked up on the St. Vincent's website so that we can share it there as well. For the Mass in Spanish, La Misa en Español, it is necessary that we change the description of the live stream so that it can be in Spanish for our Spanish viewers. We do this simply by going on to Google Translate and putting in the description the exact same way that we did before. First, the date, in this case, July 19th, followed by a comma, and then the time of the liturgical year, in this case, the 16th Sunday in Ordinary Time. We add another comma, and then the word Mass, so that it can be picked up by the website. Google instantly translates it, and you need only to copy the translation and then use it as the description by pasting it in the description bar of the live feed video. With everything ready for the live stream on the iPad, it's time to go into the church and get the tripod set up with the iPad on top so that we can start recording the Mass. Now we will mount the iPad onto the tripod. Slide the iPad into the clasp of the tripod in the landscape orientation. Push the clasp together so that it can be tightened around the iPad. And then on the back of the tripod, turn the knob to the right to lock the iPad into position on the tripod. The tripod should always be positioned in the center of the aisle, directly in front of the altar. At this point, all the preparations for the Mass should be complete, and we are ready to see what happens during the Mass and the live stream. You are acting as the eyes and ears of our at-home parishioners, which means that the iPad should always be focused on the action. The iPad should be focused on the main altar when the priest is saying something from the main altar or during the liturgy of the Eucharist. We only move the iPad in a panning motion, which means that we move it from left to right, never up and down. The iPad can be moved to point at the ambo when there is a lectern proclaiming the word, the priest reading the gospel, the priest giving a homily, or when the cantor is singing from the ambo. We pan the iPad over to the choir when the choir has a selection. After the priest has said the Eucharistic prayer and has consumed both species, we have to move the tripod out of the way so that he can come down and serve the faithful. Simply grab the lever that we use to pan and the bottom of the tripod and move the tripod over to the side of the altar. Once the priest comes down from the altar and starts to distribute communion, we can pan the iPad so that it can turn and face the congregation so that our virtual parish can be united with our physical parish. Remember to return the tripod and the iPad back to their center aisle position focused on the altar once the priest is finished distributing communion. After the announcements, the final blessing, and the closing hymn, we've come to the end of our live streaming ministry. But don't push stop recording just yet. Once the priest has left, we can end the live stream by clicking the End button on the bottom right-hand corner of the iPad. Then, you wait and click the blue Share button so that the live stream can be posted onto the St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Community page for people to see whenever they want. Thank you again for joining our ministry and helping us as we expand the House of Vincent far beyond the physical borders of our church.